I think we're there. I think we're getting antsy. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Good morning. Sorry for being late. It's been a challenge today. What's up, Nozzle Clog, Martin, Mad Owl? I saw Nathan in here. Mr. Kevin R, we are ready. Good. Good. Trying to get going here. Everything decided to update this morning. Cameras, computers, all the things. And on top of that, the printer didn't want to talk to each other. So yeah, that's why we're here doing firmware today, I suppose. What's up, Kegel? Let's get it going. Hey, good morning, Zombie. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you as always. Skyrim, good morning. Tom Taylor, good morning. Kenny Sims, good morning. Clown Hammer, Wix Central, Penguin Makers, Reth, good morning. Ready when I am, let the healing begin. Hey, good afternoon, Boothie. Yeah, it's been a day, so to get started, I'm not a coffee guy, but we're gonna need some energy today. Making tiny waffles. Test prints for your 300 cube Trident. Nice. You're gonna have to let me know how that goes. Good morning, Stephen Machado. Yeah, so I think it's explainer time to kind of catch up where we've been for those that weren't here last week, and then kind of explain what's going on behind the scenes a little bit. Excuse me. This is the printer. It's basically the same as what you saw last week. We haven't done any major changes or anything to it. It is still, it's still the same. I got a little bit of wire management down here to do, but that should be fine. And then one thing you might notice is that the main board is green now. That's because the CB2 just would not work this morning. So I took it out, replaced it with a authentic CM4, and it seems to be okay now. I don't know what was going on, but the Pi would not talk to the board whatsoever. I think I flashed new firmware 4 or 5 times yesterday, 2 or 3 more times this morning, and it just would not work. So I said, screw it, we'll pull that out of there, add in a CM4, and go that route. So that's really the only change that I've done. I did go back through and fix up some skirts a little bit. I reprinted a few parts here, so now we have actual fan skirts that are going to work for the machine. Other than that, I haven't really done a lot. I also got my silicone socks in for the Tube Compact, so I'll be able to put that on at some point. Should make coffee. Yeah. No coffee for me. We're doing Rip It this morning because that's what I have. Bourbon in the waffle batter. That sounds great. Coffee's a must. 8mm or 100mm rods in the build. They're 8mm in diameter, but the length, I think the length is 320 if I remember right. Oh, 10, yeah, so 8mm rods. You could modify the parts to use 10mm if you would like. Pretty simple. You can make a larger diameter here, so that would grow a little bit. And then this portion would grow a little bit. I would recommend growing up that way so you don't impede on your build area. You could do the same for the carriage and things like that, but you're going to lose a little bit of build area. So, I mean, but totally doable. Ghost Energy, so I can bench press your printers. Yeah, Ghost is pretty good stuff. Where's a good place to get lead screws and aluminum channel stuff? Lead screws you can find on Amazon. Aluminum channel stuff, I think you mean extrusions. You could find a kit from LDO. That's what this is. You can get Masumi to cut you some stuff. Ziltech will cut you some stuff. Obviously, AliExpress and those kinds of things can do aluminum extrusions for you. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean aluminum channel stuff. But that's where we are. That's what we've done. Not a lot different than that. Today's goal is to get the firmware working. If we can get through some of the firmware and try to stepper buzz and things like that, maybe get this thing moving. I was trying to get there last week. It was a lot going on. Just couldn't get it. So, Sponge Brain, you're welcome. You are welcome. Okay, let me get over to where we should be, which is here. So this is the config that Nathan has put out so far. Really all it is to take into account the locations of the probe and the Z-tilt. So once you get your basic firmware config, you'll add this in and then have a full config. I probably should have got something that's not carbonated. I'm feeling that right now. I've only had a few sips. Feel that in the chest. Okay, so that means we get to build everything because this is where I've stopped, all right? So updated the Pi and from a CB2 to a CM4, and that's all I've done. So there's no config loaded, there's no anything. One way to do it is to go to the web page, copy and then paste, or another way is to come to the, root section here, and you can look at config examples. You have a whole bunch of examples in here. I like to see all the files, and we'll see if there's a CM5, MP5. We'll look for, did not see that. Probably near where things are saying Manta. Wumba, Smoothie Board, KS, some Mellow Fly stuff. You live too healthy of a life. The bubbles are getting to you. Should install Calico. It takes about 10 minutes. I know, it does take 10 minutes to install it. Now, configuring it takes a little bit longer. Did it work out for you though, Zombie? Do you have a working machine again? Yeah, so here's our M5P. So this one is already set up and good to go. And so what you can do is you can copy all this. Copy all that. And then, yeah, sure, she was flashing a board incorrectly. Yeah, I saw that. I just couldn't hang out long enough to get you where you need to be. But I'll show you how to do it for real here in a second. And then we can just make our own printer config here. And we'll paste all that stuff in there. Save and restart. That should get rid of that error. And we're going to end up with a bunch of other errors about other configuration stuff that we haven't done. First things first, though, we should probably get Kiao installed. It makes it a lot easier to do Calico and things like that. And so we'll show Zombie how to do Calico config real quick. Probably sidetrack and install Calico on your tube. Tried it and mess with it. You should, man. You should. But here, we'll go through it real quick. Well, before I forget, I want to copy all of this stuff. And then put that in our parent config before I forget. Might as well install Catapult. I'm not doing, what's it called? CAN bus. My brain is not firing fast enough today. I'm getting tripped up over my words. Let's go here. And we'll put our probe stuff probably, let's do it after heater bed. So there's our probe stuff. And then I want to copy down this to separate it. See, we'll just call this fans. We still got to add Nighthawk on and all these other things. Save this. Catapult helps for USB also. Okay. I don't know that I've ever installed Catapult for USB, but we could try it out. I don't know what I just clicked on. Save that. Oh, config reference. That's not what I want. I want devices. USB, refresh. And there's our main board right there. And then this one is our Nighthawk. Your issue was that the Leviathan was running Catapult with Clipper and you tried to flash Calico to it. Yes, so you would have to use Catapult to flash Calico, not the stock Clipper or whatever. Where is this right here? Okay, so our MCU is not that. It's going to be this number here. It's for our main board. That is still flashed from when we were trying to do it with the CB2. So it should be just add this number in there, and they should begin this to talk. Okay, yes. So now we have a new error. This is going to tell us that the pin in the probe section must be specified. It's going to be on the Nighthawk, which we still need to add and all that kind of stuff. And so what I'd like to do instead is hit the Calico GitHub, not the Calico. So this is the one that's probably going to come up if you do Calico GG. This is like the sample config reference. But what you can do is go in the top corner and grab the Calico stuff. We're also going to need Kiao if you like to use that. You could do this manually if you like. I prefer to do Kiao. And so I know that I need to install this. Like literally there's nothing on it. This is a brand new install of Clipper. And so let me bring in our, well, the X term. There you go. And so for this one, we would set up a new SSH terminal. We'll call this one, I forget the number here. 1 second. 133. Should be, ooh, did I do it wrong here? Uh-oh. What is the password? I don't think I did a... Okay, that's weird. What happens if I forget the password? I don't want to reflash everything. That's stupid. So I went through the Raspberry Pi Imager and the new way they do stuff. Doesn't have us do a password or anything like that. You can keep the default. Yeah, so that's what I tried as well. Maybe it's a capital R. now it disconnected. Lick and click the like button. There you go. Pi, Raspberry. Yeah, TechJeeper, that's what I am doing, and I keep getting a password access denied, and I'm not sure why that's the case. You'll need to start over. The new config is weird. Don't tell me that. That's like a 30-minute flash. Hey, Stephen Poole. Good morning. If you use the same setting as the CM, is maybe BQ. No. It wouldn't be that. Pull up the config file and review. Ooh, I don't know how to do that. Pull up the config file and review. It's a way to reset the password, the SD card. Yeah, I know there is. I just don't know what it is. I'm not a Linux guru like that. Just ran into that. It doesn't use a default anymore. Maybe just yeah. So tried that as well. We get the access denied, and so that basically means I am out of ideas. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully TechJeeper's the TechJeeper we need. Come on. I really don't want to start over everything. So I guess in the meantime, let's see if we can Google something. Forgot Raspberry Pi password. Let's see what happens. All right. AI overview. Edit the command line.txt. Start flashing a new card while we wait. Yeah, maybe. WinSCP. Yeah, that's the cool thing about this one here, is once you're into it though, can't post the link. Here, let me make you an admin. That way it's a little easier for you to post links if you need to. All right, TechJeeper, you should be able to post things and stuff. Google command line txt recovery pi reset. Okay. TXT. Oh, this guy? Oh, this one. Okay, let's try that. Ooh. So do I have to take the SD card out? Is that what we're saying? Password terminal. Password GUI. Reset. Okay, down here. Turn it off, remove the SD card. Oh, it's painful. Scroll down to reset password. Yep. Okay, got it. So we're gonna have to do that. All right, let me shut this down. 1 second. This is more how-to than I wanted to do this morning. All right, have my SD card. Let me get the adapter. Better than refreshing or just reflash. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just been a morning already, and I didn't think I'd have to, like, I would already forget the, not that I forgot the password. I never changed it, so I don't know why it would not accept the typical Raspberry as the default. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I was having issues with this PC trying to access removable media. I don't know why it's the case. Like, it just flashed the image onto this SD card probably 30 minutes before stream. And then today, inserting it in with a dongle to be able to read an SD card, doesn't want to read it. Like I can hear the Windows sound it makes when you insert removable media, but it does not access the card, which is weird. Good morning, Timur. It happens, no biggie. If not, like we all have hot days, right? It breaks everything. Windows update, yeah. Did I enable SSH? I did, Kegel. Yes, I did. Okay, there we go. Maybe it's the card reader I was trying to use. All right, so I have the SD card. I can see it. Okay, now what? Let's move this down so you can see. Okay. Okay. Open the boot partition, look for a file named command line. Okay. Edit, and then add init bash at the end of the single line of text. Okay. Enabling direct system access. Do not add any line breaks. Should look something like this. Okay, so there's a space in between right there. Late start, making sausage, bagel, and coffee. How are you doing? Alex, we're doing okay. Keep our eyes covered. Elite hacksaw stuff? I don't know what that is. Yeah, we'll see. You got a hot day with a young chickie babe. Yeah, we did a hot date yesterday. It was taking them to golf. So my wife works at a golf course, and I brought the girls over to surprise her at work. That was our hot date. We're gonna probably do something either later today or tomorrow. We're those folks that don't like to go out on holidays because it's just madness. Make a backup of that file. Save and close, and then safely eject. Okay, save, close, done. This, eject. Let's see if that worked. Tiny waffles now with bacon. Good guy, killer. I try to be. It's a work in progress all the time. Just try to be 1% better. All right, let's jam this back into the board here. See if we can get it going. Right. Back in the printer. Let's see now. Let's get you back open. Let's turn some power on. And let's see if she boots. All right. Boot the Pi. After it starts up, it will load directly into a root shell without needing a password. Eunice gives you more motivation as no kids yourself. Nozzle clog. Kids are interesting. I've got 3 daughters. Each of them have a different personality, and they range from 20 years old to 7. And so we get this range of, I don't know, challenges each day. You have just read the SD and Windows. Yeah, so I can't, Kenny Sims, I agree with you. But if you can't get into you can't get into the Pi with your SSH program, then you can't use WinSCP. You have to be able to log into it first before you do that. So if you can't log in, you can't WinSCP. Hey, Palms. Not sure. Yeah. Not sure this lets you SSH. So am I going to have to reflash this whole thing? You'll need a keyboard and a screen on that? Ah, dang it. So we're going to have to flash this whole thing again. Hey, what's up, Kitchell? That's annoying. But let's get it going then, because that's what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do. All right. Well, let's restart it. Hey, Iconic Fab, good morning. I guess we're flashing SD cards for a third time this morning. I've only been awake for a couple of hours. And your flash is now complete. You started it, right? No, absolutely not. Flash on this thing, it does not happen that quickly. But I guess in good news, we get a look at it from the very, very beginning. Let's see if I can bring in the Pi source here. All right, so there's our Pi imager. The new Pi flasher doesn't set a password. You had to do the same when the N3, get back to it tomorrow. If you launch our Pi imager, maybe it remembers the password you used last time. Password should always be hot dog. Yeah. You set it in advance. Correct, yeah. So anyway, we'll walk through it and I'll show you what I did, right? So here's Pi 4. That's what we're using. We're going to go down until we see a specific purpose OS. We'll go down to where it says 3D printing. Main cell is the only available option, so we'll click that. Storage, we're going to go to this SD card here. It's going to say choose a host name. It should only contain letters, numbers, and hyphens. Identifies your Raspberry Pi on the network. We're going to keep it simple and keep it as Pi. And then DC, LA, US. And then it says make a user account for your Raspberry Pi. No idea how to see description on mobile. Trying to enter the giveaway. Shaggy, wasn't you? So you need to click the more. So just under the video, there's a more button right there, under, like right next to the title, and it'll expand out your description so you can see. Yeah, I'm starting over Wix Central. Unfortunately. Why is it not? Oh, because we're in the customization. It's not going to show you guys all that stuff. Huh. All right, so my username, we'll make it that. And then we'll have okay. Okay. Enable SSH. Yes, we have enabled SSH. And write. So it's doing it behind the scenes. I think it's just not going to show it because there's a lot of customization and stuff in there. And like for security purposes, it's probably not allowing that to show. So I just removed it for now. What do you guys want to talk about now that we're doing this? Guys, there's going to be a minute for this to finish up. Have you used Blend Etcher? I have. Just getting some practicing runs. Yeah. I get a lot of practice because I often do things wrong or miss a little detail, and it messes up. Thanks for the memberships there, Bearded Printer. Always coming through, helping folks become members of the channel. Appreciate the support. And it went to Iconic Fab. Iconic Fab.
Thanks for
being
the sub.
a member. Yeah, so when this was going earlier, and I was watching it behind the scenes, it became more of a, let's see how many percents we can get before it failed. And I could see it flashing away, but it's definitely stuck at 0% right now for the last probably 2 minutes since we started. Said, oh, thanks. Yeah, so Iconic Fab, it means you can come and check out the salad fork that we're doing. Actually, this guy right here behind me, I did a little work on that one Saturday after stream. I got we could talk about it a little bit, I suppose. Got the carriage done up. So we got the carriage good to go. Put some magnets in there. Got the stuff on. Now I just need to build a few tool heads. We've got all day. You might have all day. I don't know that I have all day. I'm not just flashing Pi Light and then letting Kiao do all the other stuff. Sissy Kid, we could absolutely do that. We could absolutely do that. But yeah, got that done up. Have I ever air refueled Air Force One? Curious. Not personally. Not personally. They changed the way that they do things, and while it is air refuelable, they don't often do it anymore. So it'd be more like a no-kidding emergency situation when they would air refuel. So yeah, I did that. I'm excited to get back to that project and hopefully get that one off the ground. But I'm thinking about the tool heads, and I have all the ant heads printed for it. But I'd really like to use beacon on that. And the carriage currently that I just showed you does not have beacon mounting. So I need to be able to make that happen. All right, this image is not writing. We're going to use Balena Etcher. Oh, it actually is writing now. That's weird. It's at 14%. I just clicked on the box and then it magically updated to 14%. Let's see if it'll show you. No, still showing the other thing. It's not a fork, that's a 3D printer, silly. Yeah, Skelefork. My camera keeps zooming like crazy. Let's turn that off. It's trying to zoom into everything, and we don't need everything. We just need me. Okay, so it seemed like that happened really fast. Did it just cancel? But Sissy Kid had a good point. You could flash Pi Light and run through the bare minimum Raspberry Pi OS that it's going to add on there. And then flash all your other stuff. And that should be good enough to have a base on top of which you can add Clipper and mainsail or fluid or any of your other stuff without all sort of the bloat kind of things. And so that is a good way to do it. However, it's easier just to go through the motions here in Raspberry Pi Imager. It's already got the built-in mainsail OS that just flashes the image over. I've also heard Diet Pi was another one that's really minimal and can get you going. But again, if you're just looking for ease of use, you could go this way. You entered, you're at work right now. That's why you're on mobile. Yeah, so you should be good to go. I do it on mobile all the time for other streams. But thanks for entering. This thing is really weird. I clicked on it a minute ago and it just immediately jumped up to 15% complete after being stuck at 0 for a while. And then now it's still kind of doing the same thing, stuck at 0. Strange. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll let this right in the background. Let's get some skirts and stuff on here, get some actual work done. Don't want to sit here and just stare at each other. Well, that was nice. It fell off. Okay, so this is off already. Let's unplug power. Good. Now let's see about getting this back panel on here. Right there. Okay. How's the selling printers going? I did get rid of the LH Stinger. So we got one printer gone. I haven't really posted a lot about other printers yet. I really need to. But thanks for asking. Where are my panels? Here we go. So I got a whole bunch of panels from Mandala Roseworks, and they came really nicely packaged. Let's see if I can show this to you. They came like that. Super thick cardboard, all wrapped and taped up with a Fragile sticker on there, which means they were only lightly tossed. Looks like a fun printer. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I really did not want to sell the LH Stinger. That's one of my favorites. It's very impressive how fast that machine is. And I did a lot of extra stuff to it, like filling the frame with epoxy and sand, so that it was super dense and heavy. So I didn't want to get rid of it, but it did make sense. And I was able to make a deal with the guy, and we shipped it, and it seemed like it arrived mostly safe. It had a couple of broken parts, but I mean, those things are printable, so no big deal. Oh, look at that. We got a MRW sticker. Just trying to rip this open real quick. All right, panels. All right, we have panels. Do not clean acrylic or polycarbonate with isopropyl alcohol or use Loctite near them. That's a good warning on there. Hey, Steve, good morning. Printers like cats. If you lose one, 2 more show up. 1,200 Haktua coins? What is that? Go. Haktua coins? I don't even know what that is. Is that like a crypto? And that's you're saying like that girl, the meme girl, has her own crypto? Sorry, if this is something you guys are talking about on the podcast, I have not been there in a while. It just hasn't worked out with my schedule. I just want one panel. One panel. All right, so what I did was order just like the top and the sides. So that looks like the top panel. But either way, it still came with the 2 front doors that I'm not going to use because we're going to do click-clack door. And then these are side panels. Like, I don't have a back panel. What happened? That's a mistake. All right, so that's a side panel. That's a side panel. We've got 2 front doors, a top panel, but there's no back panel. What in the world? I should have opened this yesterday. That's annoying because I need the back panel to put this on. Dang. Like who doesn't include a back panel? That's kind of crazy. I do have a bottom panel. I guess we could do that, because that won't be in the way. Well, I guess we have to do a claim with West 3D. Here's a question: what is the total square M2 of my lab, and how many printers, devices? You have 5 FDM laser with accessories and 20 M2. I think you're saying square meters. Are we having a day? Kenny Sims, we are having a day. Not only did Raspberry Pi, the CB2 not work out for us. Now we have to refresh. But now my order did not include a back panel, which is not right. So I don't know what the plan is today so far. We'll figure it out. How many square meters is my shop? I would say, if I had to guess, it is probably, I don't know, a meter is how many feet? What's my ruler say here? So 1 meter is like 39 inches. I'd say it's probably 20 by 20 as far as the garage. And so 400 square feet, whatever that comes out to in meters, it's about 400 square feet, but I don't use all of that for space. So you got to think of it. I have where this desk is right now. This is one long part of an L shape. And then from this section, there's another section that goes this way, also in an L shape. That's maybe 4 foot deep this way. So what is that, like 2 meters? In an L shape. That's what I have. And in here, I have about 25 printers, 23 printers, something like that. All right, so that's an M5. Let's do side skirts while this is going, because I don't know why that's not flashing. Anyone seen Joe? You blame Jeremy for me not getting a back panel? I blame Jeremy too. Jeremy's the reason I don't have a back panel. What in the world? All right, we're going a different direction here because Raspberry Pi just doesn't want to flash anything right now when it literally worked this morning. Rookie numbers? Yeah. Yeah. You only have 9, need to try harder. You're correct, yeah. 9 is enough. I wish I did not have 25. I think a good number is 12 or less for me. For me, 12 or less makes a lot of sense. Recently installed Pi 5 and Kraken on your SVO8. Thing has been awesome. Great. Yeah, I'm trying to do a Kraken on my RatRig vCore 4. RatOS does not like it. I may just go mainline Clipper on it and probably steal a lot of the macros from RatOS, but it's just not, it's not working the way I want. Not enough time in the day to print. Correct, Gergman, that's my point. So like 12 or less is probably a sweet spot. I don't have the breakers in this house to support 23 printers. I don't have the outlets to connect 23 printers at the same time. You have the new and improved 2-piece clear black pen. Not enough time in a day to fix. You're correct. You're correct. Well, not all of them need fixing, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are Bamboo Lab, so they don't need fixing. Just a little maintenance here and there, but I don't work on them, right? And so everything else is projects, and I don't need 20 plus projects. I need 20 plus printers. So that's the challenge. All right, let me grab a couple of rolling nuts here. Get these 2 skirts on. Eventually 50% are down for repair. Yeah, that's basically what's happening, is like 80% are down for repair. I think the ones that work, let's see, Delta Flyer, Doron Velta, Second SK Cube, Trident 350, Micron, what's this one here? Antithesis. And that's it. Those are the working ones that I can remember. Oh, Positron, sorry. Positron, M1. Those are all working. It's the other ones that are kind of not. So maybe 80% is a little bit exaggeration. Maybe it's only like 50% work. Let's get some 8s, I think, or what we're using here. Probably 10s. See about getting the skirt on here. Yeah, so 10s are going to work for us. And I just want to put in here. Let's move you a little bit so you can see what's going on. Can you pan around and show us your setup? I could try, yeah. I could try to do that. Here, let me grab this other camera. We could do a little bit of that. You guys can see my mess. I'll show it to you. All right, so I've got you on webcam. Here we go. How about that? I'll try not to be as shaky as I tend to be, but I'll show you around a little bit. So this is the scene that you see from behind the camera. This is me here. It's my face cam. And so as I go this way, you can see I just got a little shelf with some couple of printers on there, and then a bunch of garage storage stuff over there, right? I've got a lot of space for the bike behind me, and then behind this rack are a bunch of 3D printers kind of down on the floor. So let me move out of the way. So you can see down there's like storage and just a lot of filament, okay? As I pan this way, it's harder to get you a shot. But you'll see there's more filament over there. And then you get into like, there's the legacy fork, right? Just to my left. H2D's on the floor. There's an FL Sun over there, rat rig over there, kind of in the corner behind this bench. Sorry, the cable's not long enough, but there's the rat rig. You see the top of the FL Sun over there. And then around that corner, which I can't see, you can kind of see right in here some shelving units. That goes back that way. And there's 2 shelving units over there with just 3D printers across there. So you can see my X1 Carbon up there, Positron right there. That's about as much as I can show you with the length of USB cord that I have. Nice thing about mini printers is you can dedicate some for specific things without having to flip things. Yeah, so that was the original idea, and then it just got out of hand. It just got out of hand. But yeah, that's the shop, man. Like, it's just a 2-car garage with some extra space at the top. Probably meant for like washer dryer type thing. Well, it's supposed to have a heat set in there. I forgot. So let's do that. I forgot this heat set here. It's much easier to do before you install the parts. Nice setup. Thanks. It's a little bit junky. I got too much extra things just kind of laying around that don't really have a place. So it's a decent size, which is why I'm kind of sad to leave it. But it doesn't have enough wall outlets, and it doesn't have enough storage for things. But it does have enough space to have an entire, so just imagine this concrete, or not concrete, this tabletop stretches that way for another 4 feet. And then this way towards the camera, another 8 feet. So all of that space can be workbench. And I've filled up most of it. Oh, I also realized that I put these are on sideways, so I have to pull those off later. Check it out. Oh no, I can't access. There's not a hole in the bottom of this to access the hardware. So it just makes it a little tight. Well, we got it on there. Look forward to your next studio garage. Same. I'm nervous. Whatever it's going to be, I would hope is similar, but no promises. I mean, doing what I do, you just kind of get issued a house. You don't get to choose necessarily. You get to choose between, if you're lucky, you get a choice between 2 that are either the same or the same but mirrored. So not really a choice. You need flat surfaces that work on a timer. After 12 hours and 20-minute warning goes off, that it will fold up and you better start clearing it off. That would be cool. Yeah, it tends to get very junky around here after streams. And if I'm out here working for any period of time, I need to be mindful about how much I clean up, because it can get, like, the tabletop right now with the streaming setup on it is just a mess. I've got spare parts and printed stuff everywhere, projects laying around. It's pretty messy. It's messy, it's embarrassing. I know better, so I should do better. Come on. I gotta get better T-nuts. These just don't wanna... don't want to play nice. They don't want to go in the frame. Yeah, so like we talked about last time, I'm probably not going to do fans in these skirts because most of them are blocked by the EMS that we have installed anyway. And I added in an additional fan into the chamber right over top of the drivers, so they should get enough airflow to work without the extra fans. And if needed, it's an easy add later. What did I do with the hardware? So your area has a lot of FOD. It does have a lot of FOD, yeah. A lot of FOD. For those that don't speak Air Force, FOD is foreign object debris. Not exactly sure why this thing's not writing. We're stuck at 7% for the last whole time it took me to do that just now. Feel like Balena Etcher is going to be the better option right now because this one is not working. Yeah, so here we are at 7%, and it's been 7% for I don't know how long. So if I close that, open that, it's the same. It's just not playing nice today. So if I cancel, it'll be at like, it'll show you really quickly what it is, and then it just like doesn't work. I don't know. It's annoying. Try reformatting the SD card, then installing PiOS. I could do that. Or we can do FOD walk, boys. I can't tell you the last time I've done a FOD walk. Try reformatting. All right, fine. Let's try it. Where'd it go? This. Yeah, I thought that formatting was part of the imager. And so when I bring this up, it takes it a while. It doesn't even like to show up. That's the problem I'm running into. Let me see something. Do I have any memberships to give? I have 10 to give, and we are at the middle of the month. Let's give away some memberships. We've got 50 people here. Let's see which lucky 5 of you get memberships. Top list, Robert Brown, Net Ventive, Jimmy Jibba Jabba. I like that name. And Musaka 3D. Congratulations. Formatting it.
Thanks for the sub.
Formatting it part of PyImager, but sometimes can get hung up if it has to erase then, right? Okay. I just need the CPU to even read the SD card right now, because when I insert it, it should show it over here. But it doesn't do that. That's the annoying part.
Thanks for the sub.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it won't work. You can use the imager to format the card too.
Thanks for the sub.
I could. I just really, I'm annoyed. Getting really frustrated. I do have other SD cards. I do. What I'd like to do is find a an image to download. So I think Diet Pie is one of them. When I lost my PC to whatever, power surge, something, it took along with it all of the data. All of the data for, you know, different images, all that stuff. So anything that I had downloaded that I would use normally day to day is on that dead PC, unrecoverable. And so I have to download everything all over again. Let's see, download the image. This is the right one, right? Pi4CM4. No, I don't want Trixie. Can I get an older version? You had a few SD cards that bricked on you. Yeah, so the weird thing is, like, sometimes this will work, and then I'll take it inside, and it'll work in there, but then I'll come out here and it won't work. And so I have to go back inside to flash the card and come back out here. That's what I was doing yesterday because it was irritating the hell out of me. I can use Trixie because I thought that Trixie, like, people were having problems with Trixie. Did that update? Sorry, I didn't realize that was all hidden. But yeah, so when you come to Diet Pie, you can download, and it's a Trixie image, essentially, is what it is. Reth fixed Trixie. Reth, I need you to come flash this SD card for me. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing. Did it download? Yes. And then from here, we can use Balena Etcher. How old is the SD card? I don't know. They don't have like sell-by dates or anything like that on there. So it's hard to know. Can't be that old though. It's also an XYZ image. Should I extract this first? Do I need to extract this? You don't think that Shake and Tune is happy with Trixie? So I knew there was something with it that it just kind of wasn't working right. I don't know. I can't remember what that was. But this will be Rhett's fault if it doesn't work. So that's the weird thing. Like, so it shows up. The SD card will show up as a writable location, but I can't access it in File Explorer, which is really weird. Frick says fix Shake Tune in version 6. Nice. I do remember version 6 coming out because you did a short video on that showing some of the updates and differences. What I didn't recognize was it had fixed Trixie at all. I didn't realize I had my headphones on this whole time. Oh, this is flashing much faster. It's probably a smaller image, but also Balena Etcher's not giving me problems. So, Reth, what are some of the changes in version 6 for those that may not have seen your video? Should we be using version 6 today if we get that far? He made a video about it. Link your video, man. Yeah, for those that haven't seen Rhett's video about Shake and Tune version 6, it's pretty short. I think it's like 5 minutes. It's not very long at all. But he goes through some of the updates about what changed in version 6. Some good, some not so good. It's what it is. Memory fix, access map works now. Some other minor things, yeah. So a lot of it is kind of some housekeeping type stuff. But I haven't had a chance to use it because we've been focused on getting the build done, and so I haven't put the new Shake and Tune on any of the working printers. You think that you had the same problem when you updated your Micron? You think you ended up using Balena as well? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Raspberry Pi Imager. They changed it, and now it just... Like, I got it to work. You guys saw it. Like, we booted, and then weird passwords wouldn't allow me to SSH. I didn't change anything, so it should have just been default passwords. But that wasn't the case. So I don't know. I spent the last hour just trying to get firmware on an SD card. We did get a couple skirts on, though, so that's a win. Hey, Kenneth Davis. I thought you were here already. Did I miss that? Did I mix you up with someone else? There it is, Rhett's video. Thanks, Nathan. So if you want to catch out Rhett's video while we're finishing up the raffle, you should go click that. What's up, Captain Kern? We can skip validation, right? That's normal. All right, it seemed like it worked. Let me get Wi-Fi set up back here. So Wi-Fi text. You have all your electronics zip tied to your printer. You got to do better than that, man. It's a good way to short something. Just put my credentials into the text editor here. And then that. I think we're good. Now you'll get to it. All right, just adding in all my Wi-Fi stuff into the text editor, and then we can eject this SD card. See if that worked for us. Okay, initial user and default software install password. Okay. Is default. Okay. So there is some information in here about what your default password is going to be. And so I'm just going to edit this one as well to be something else. Let's do this. It's going to be that. And try to set our time zone. Okay. Using Wi-Fi, please edit that to enter credentials. Yeah, there's a bit more setup behind the scenes here in this other one. Let me show you what we're going through. Sure, we'll do that, and we'll use this. Okay, so there's a little bit more setup to this, right? So in dietpy.txt, you have to get through some stuff. So first boot of Diet Pie only once. So it gives you the default password stuff here. So it's going to say that's what it is. And then you can set up your global stuff over here. So once applied during the first run, password is removed, encrypted, and stored to a safer location to be used by that. Let's see, accents. Okay, we cannot guarantee. So auto setup is that. What? So I'm a little worried about that one. If it removes it and then stores it somewhere else, am I going to be able to log back in after we boot this thing? I feel like I want to change that to something else. Root and Diet Pie as the user's login passwords. Either way, this is our network here. So I turned off Ethernet, enabled Wi-Fi. My country code is going to be US because that's where I live. Not doing any of this other stuff. Host name. So let's make it normal because I'm not going to remember anything else. Set up boot wait for network. What? Okay. Swap locations, serial, unmask, which is masked by default. What is this? Auto setup installs. Add as many apt package names as you wish. Custom scripts. I don't know that we're worried about that. Software options. It's a lot of weird kind of things in here I'm not used to. Non-interactive. First boot run updates, initial setup, blah, blah, blah. I just want to make sure that SSH is enabled on here because we need to be able to get in there to update things for Clipper and switch over to Calico and all that kind of stuff. LCD panels, Diet Pie software settings, maybe. SSH, here we go. Allow password logins for all users, including root. Disable password login for root user only. Martin, still shouting out, folks. I appreciate that. And we still got 53 people here. Nice. Sorry, it's so like kind of boring today, but we're on the struggle bus. All right, I think that's good. I think we just press with what we have. Get rid of that. Let's bring this back open and see about taking this SD card and getting it in the machine. All right, let's try this again. This doesn't work today. I don't know what we're gonna do. I guess we'll keep fighting with it until we get to where we need to be, but can't do that forever. Can't do it all day. I'm gonna go get some discount chocolate and Valentine's Day stuff at the store here in a bit. Can't do this all day. So we have power. I'm seeing lights on the board. I'm seeing green lights on the Pi. Just waiting for that to connect. So Shaggy, you're saying you have all your mounts printed. What printer are you working on? It's never worked out for me when I had things just zip tied around. Like it's just been a mess. Thought you were Captain America. You should be able to do this all day. I didn't say that. You said that. I could do it all day. I could be out here like on the struggle bus for the next 12 hours, like beating my head into the brick wall. But it's painful to watch and stream on YouTube, and I'm sensitive to what the audience wants to see. That's what it comes down to. So instead of suffering along with me through this, turn you guys over to something that you do want to see. No worries about the content, needed something in the background, working on projects that doesn't require full attention. I want all of your attention, all of your undivided attention. No pain, no gain. You're correct. Yeah, so now it doesn't even want to connect to the Wi-Fi's. Let me see if it changed IPs on me, because it could very well be a different IP now. Good morning, Liz. You like watching others struggle? Makes you feel better that you struggle all the time? Yeah. Okay, so we did change IPs. That's the problem. All right, let's do it this way. Let's do a new one. And oh, why did I do that? What comma's in there? Happy as a clam today? You be watching? Username, we're gonna say that. There we go. We hit the wrong IP. All right. It's still denied. Like, what the F? I don't understand. Still denied. Monitoring first big print after some mods and tuning on a N4 Max. I've never heard of an N4 Max. Cap locks is on? No, cap locks is not on. Should not be. I mean, let's see. Yeah, it's not on. So I tried maybe, how do we switch to a different host name? Let's close this one. Let's try a new one with let's try that. And then we'll try, yeah, it's, yeah, it's not working at all. Try the default password. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I've tried it with caps, not caps. It is the correct IP. Happy Sunday, Daddy Wazzy. All the keys on the key. Yes. All the keys work on the keyboard. Yeah, maybe not. Not for us. We're on the struggle bus today trying to get a connection to a Raspberry Pi that refuses to accept a password for some reason. Yeah, I'm kind of lost. I don't know what else to try here. Yeah, so we tried. So here's Raspberry. Typing it slow. Oh, look at that. That time it worked. Weird. I think maybe I had to log in as root first as the username, because we were trying Raspberry on the other one. Would not happen. Tried to go through root, did that, and then bang. My security clearance sucks. Yeah, I don't have one for this stuff. Yeah, Nathan's coming through, man. Nathan is on it. It's almost like he's the pie whisperer. Yeah, and as soon as he said that, I was like, what in the world? So if we go back and remember, we were reading through the text document, it was like you need to log in as root first, use this password, this is the default, blah, blah, blah. If you change it to something else, da, da, da. It didn't click to me because I'm a little bit tired until Nathan said that, oh yeah, that's right. We did need to try it. So, ooh, what does all this mean? Do not know what a UART device or serial console is, it is safe to select yes, which frees some memory by stopping the related process. Can be re-enabled at any time. Don't lie, you know you're trying Raspberry now. Sure. Oh, we go right into the config on this. Okay, that's new for me. This is the first time using DietPi. Feature-rich config tool for your device. All right, let's try it out. Language and region. Yep, so that's all what we set. Is there anything that I should look at in here? Like in any of these settings that you guys know that we should change? What is in here? Yeah, so that's fine. What about auto start options? Anything in here that we should do? I mean, this really seems like it's made for other things. Yeah, I don't really want to mess with any of this. I think we're good. DietPi has not been fully installed. This must be completed prior to using DietPi by install go start. Okay, let's do that. Pure minimal image. Okay. Yeah, this is different. I like different. I just don't like doing it for the first time with an audience. Oh, Elegoo Neptune 4 Max. Sorry, Gergman, I'm just catching up here. Giant bed slinger, linear rails, X and Y, 6mm nozzle, leveled Z offsets, much more consistent. Nice. Major update to your firewall. Cross fingers you return in a few minutes. All good. All good. Yeah, I should definitely be smarter on all that kind of stuff. It's just not my thing. Software, I'm sorry, not software. Network development is not my thing. Network engineering, that's way above my understanding. Helps us learn also. I hope so, Ken Davis. I hope so. Because I'm definitely learning on the fly. I know enough to be dangerous. Would you like to join the survey? No. No, I do not. Cool. So I guess we're in. That's good. Let's see about getting Kiao on here then. So is that big enough for you guys to see? I mean, there's other things behind the screen right now, but I'm just copying and pasting from Kiao over to the show window. Yeah, that was a lot more setup than I really thought it was going to be. It was an hour and a half of just getting the freaking thing talking to the internet. Oh, I just noticed this, right? So up here at the top. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Up here at the top, 38C, 100F, cool runnings. All right, so good there. Let's try this other one. Step 2, paste, go. So, oh, that was fast. Step 3, go here. Must not, what? Must not run as root. I've never seen that before. How do I get around that? Add a user pi instead of running as root. How do I change from one username to the next? That's what I really need to do right now. Let's go from one to the next. But before we super get into Calico, I do want to get it set up. So we need to go to the Calico webpage now and start doing stuff over here to get us ready to swap over. So it looks like we have it installed. We just can't run it yet. And then we want to add in, I like using the bleeding edge branch. That's the most up to date. I don't use all of the features that you would get from a bleeding edge, but it does give you the most up to date stuff. So we'll add that right there under the repo section, and then Control X, Y, enter to save. And then that should have done all the things we need to do to make Kiao acceptable for run add user pi. So add user pi. Successful changing the user information for pi. Enter the new value or press enter for default. Enter for default. It's a lot of other info. Okay, now we can do our Calico then. The bleeding edge in Calico, make sure you only use smooth shapers. Do not use any of the regular shapers. Yes, tracking that. Okay, then we got to run SuPy. Ooh, look at Nathan with all this stuff. That's what I needed, man. Thank you so much. So let's get back over to Cal and copy the script. There. Permission denied. Huh. What is going on? Boot. Home. Diet Pie. Yeah, it's not, it's denying me permission to run that. Do I need to do this again? Yeah, it's not doing it. I'm in the root. How do I go to a different folder though? I've tried to, oh, never mind. Yeah, it's still no file or such directory. I guess I need to install it again. Pi is not in the sudo. What? On again? So when you panned your camera around earlier, was that a little shop of horrors? Yes, it was actually. Good eye. Good eye. Here, I'll grab it for you. This is gonna be fun. It'll give me a moment to get away from the craziness. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the Audrey 2. It's we've taken the teeth out of it for storage or whatever. But yeah, it's all paper mache and PVC. But yeah, the wife painted it, made it, designed it, paper mached it, all that stuff. And underneath, you can put your head in here and kind of wear it as an Audrey 2. That was her costume, 2 years ago, I think? And because she put so much work into making that Audrey 2 head, she doesn't want to throw it away, even though probably needs to. That's why you need printing props for your wife's high school production. Yeah. Well, that's all paper mache, man. So it's not too crazy. Cool, Audrey. Have a little shop. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. She's very crafty, creative like that. I'm not, obviously. Okay. Yeah, more creative than me, for sure. Let's try this again. Yeah, it's just not working out. Who success? A little bit. Or are you talking about your firewall stuff? Firewall stuff, gotcha. Sudo, okay, let's try that. Not in the sudoers file. I don't get it. Should we? I'll tell you what. Oops, no. I'll tell you what, let's close this one. And let's start a new one here. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell that means. Over to the Googles, I suppose. Let's see what this means. Log in as root, then run the line above again. Okay. So log in as root. And then try this other one. So sudo add user pi sudo. Okay. Then come over here and we'll do this. No, that's not what I wanted. We want this. Yeah, still not working out. So we'll go to the Google. Yeah, I've tried the SuPi thing. Oh, works that time. I don't know what we did differently. Why are you adding sudo as a user? I don't know. I'm trying to add pi as a sudo person. As a super user, because for whatever reason, it didn't want to do it. But we're good now. It looks like it's taking it now. Just trying to get Kiosk set up over here. Let's see if this works. Hey, look at that. Great. All right, so now we're going to go to settings. We're going to switch the repo. Oh, I got to do it again. I got to add in Calico stuff again. I don't know why that happened. Okay, no problem. We've got it open. So we'll do this. And then this one. You read that wrong? You're bad? Yeah, no worries. No worries. We're all learning today. I have no idea what I'm doing. Without Nathan helping out in chat just now, I don't know that we would have gotten this far. I would have gotten angry and just wiped it and went to a more normal image. Put that right there, put a space in, Control X, Y, enter to save. And then now we can run our script again. No such file or directory. What the hell? Like that is not... We're going to have to do this manually? All right, let's try it then. Restart the Clipper service. Okay, let's try it. ls-ltr. You only need that. Okay. So if I do, hold on, I lost it in chat. Where'd it go? /kial.sh. You're too deep. Oh, I'm not used to that. Okay, we're good now. You would have ran the first line like you mentioned, and then ran sudo usermod. Sure. I appreciate all the help though. I just don't know what they mean. Like I can copy and paste all day, but I think I'm a person that likes a little bit of understanding of why I'm doing the thing and what it does for me. And I'm just not smart on Linux enough to understand. I mean, I know sudo means that I'm trying to be a super user, which is kind of like admin. I think -ag means add them to the group, but those are all guesses. Looks like we're on the right track now, though, after some time. So this part takes a little bit. And I know Zombie's going to give it to me. He's going to be like, oh, I thought you said it was a 10-minute install. And I'm like, yeah, it is a 10-minute install. When it works. After you get to the install point, it's 10 minutes. Well, we're all out of Rip It. And I still have brain fog. This is mentally exhausting. So Tintal and Nathan, how did you guys learn to do Linux? Is it just something that you started with a long time ago and just been using this whole time? Like, what makes you guys so good at this? I'm just curious. Oh, and Sissy Kid, I've never been told that I was ever too deep. It's the first time I'm hearing that. Bomb's got it. "26 years? Holy crap. 26 years using Linux? I didn't even get my first PC at all, like first computer, until I was probably 23 years old. So less time owning a computer than you've been using Linux is what I'm saying. Started with Raspberry Pi and ham radio and just went from there. Not that great, but you can get it by. Never built a printer. Okay. I think you started with Red Hat. I don't even know what Red Hat is. Hey, GTR Dad. We're still trying to get firmware on the legacy fork so we can actually try and make it move today. I'm coming up on filming giveaway. And so for those that have not entered, you need to get entered. Red Hat is OG. Red Hat's like the Ash Jeeves of Google. So for the 56 of you that are here, if you want filament today and have a chance to win, then you got to get into the description and fill out the form. US only, by the way, US only. Commodore 64 and BBS. Studied computer science, so a bit more familiar. Got it. Dude, I think the only thing I studied in school about computers at all was keyboarding, like how to type. That was a class that we had to take, but nothing else. In order for a user to run sudo, they have to be in the Unix sudo group. The 2 versions of the command in the chat were to add the Pi user to the sudo group. Good to know. You actually have a tattoo of Tux? I'm going to guess. Is Tux the penguin? Been lurking? Thanks, Clownhammer. Appreciate you. I'm going to guess that Tux is the penguin. Again, that's how dumb I am on Linux. Yep, okay. Do I know what a news group is? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, we're good. We've got Calico in. There it is there. And we need to do, let's do number 5 so that everything backs up before we update on the next time. And Clipper is incomplete. That's weird. So let's do number 1. Let's just go down the list. We'll do Clipper first. We'll do a default of 1. Create an example. No, because we have one. HomePy Clipper already exists. Do we want to override it? Sure. Red Hat's a major software company in the open source Linux and other software like OpenShift. Okay. You had a VIC-20 and a Commodore 64 as a kid. Now the overflow of Commodore. Drove to town to help mom. I think you mean out. You started with IBM DOS 1.0. Jeez. Timur, no offense, but I believe you started with an abacus. How were the stakes? What about FTP? Do I have a clue? Oh man. So I've seen the term FTP. I know the P is protocol. I forget what the other 2 are about, but no, that's about it. Apple IIe was the first computer you touched. Was DOS based. Virtual environment. All right. No, we're not going to recreate. Add Pi to the group. Sure. I feel like I'm getting a test here, Kenny. Kenny's trying to test my knowledge. I told you I was dumb on all this stuff. I'm not a computer network kind of guy. File transfer. There you go. File transfer protocol. Windows 1 off a 2 floppy disk. Slide rule. All right, so Clipper should be good. Let's do Moonraker now. Example, sure, why not? Who had a trash 80? Graybeard chin wag. Finger wag. Yeah, you guys are much more smart than I am on all that stuff. I kind of grew up as a, I don't know, an average high school kid, you know, got C's and stuff like that in most subjects. Pretty decent with numbers and some math and things like that. And very like mechanically minded. I like to understand how things go together and take it apart, put it back together kind of stuff. Electrical stuff, I'm okay. Computer stuff, not okay. And I don't do computer stuff for my main job either. A health, a Heath kit. Now that was a lot of soldering. Ooh. Tris 80. Yeah, I don't know what any of these things are. Tandy Cocoa 2? No idea. I remember my wife saying she had a Tandy, but I don't even know what that would be. I mean, I'm old enough to know, like when I was in elementary school, we had the computer that we played Oregon Trail, so you had to like put the disc in to do that. And I remember doing a little bit of math kind of stuff, like run programs or whatever, but that's really it. That was probably 5th grade, man. That was 1995, I think. Let ours get demolished with the house. Back in the 80s, you had to write most of your stuff in BASIC. Back before there were web browsers. In the before times, Tandy is part of Radio Shack. And Radio Shack is no more. So there you go. Good old news boards. Yeah, no idea what that is. 10 years or more before me. Yeah. Merc was like Discord. I'm familiar with Merc, but in a different way. Like I've used Merc as part of my day job for other stuff, but it's an acronym, right? Military loves their acronym, so it's probably not the same thing as you are talking about, Kali. Who belongs to the Battery of the Month Club? Oh my goodness. Battery of the Month Club. Get out of here. We don't need Clipper Screen. We might need Crow's Nest, but I can do that one later. Let's see where we are. Okay, so we've got Clipper installed, Moonraker installed. Fluid is not installed, so let's do that. I don't know why that didn't go. Let's do number 4. Configure the port, sure. You had a Tandy 1000? You would get along with Shanika. She had a Tandy something. I don't know what it was. Way before my time. Like I said, I didn't get my first computer until I was like 23. We were poor. Like I didn't get a cell phone until I was, geez, I think I had a computer before I had a cell phone. 8th grade when Apple came out with Macintosh and had a mouse and Paint, and it was super cool. Yeah, so my cousin had a Mac and had Paint and stuff like that on there. And I remember it, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. 4th hand computer. We didn't have a real computer until 99. Yikes. I got you beat though. My real first computer was 2005. Yeah, probably 2005. All right, Fluid is good. We have the config. The rest of that stuff will be good to go. We should be able to boot into something now, guys, right? Am I thinking about this right? Let's go over here. Let's see what we got. Let's try this again. Oh, that's not going to be right. We want to go to this. And that's also not right. It's number 4 now. There it is. Oh, thank you. Worked at Radio Shack in the early 90s. I do miss Radio Shack. They were kind of cool to go in there and see the tech and whatnot. Now, I guess the closest thing we have is like a sharper image, which is not really the same. All right, but we're in. That's good. Let's do our printer config. Big example. And then over here, we can look for M5P. There she is. So I can just drag that over there, and we're good to go. We can rename it printer config. We'll come in here. I think I closed the legacy fork thing. This. And we want to go to this config, grab this one. And we can paste it down here somewhere. Let's do right here. Micro Center and wish they would come to Vegas. I wish they would go to Vegas too. I would drive all the way to Vegas before I would go to Tustin. It's such a pain in the butt to get down to Tustin. Hey, Maker Viking. 1960s. Last thing you bought at Radio Shack was a CB antenna for your Bronco about 15 years ago. You bet they will. As a private company, Micro Center has been very slowly expanding. I mean, yeah, they need to get over there. Okay, I also need to do this portion here so that the MCU can talk to the Pi. So what I'll do is I'll go to Device, USB, and refresh that, and it's not seeing anything. I wonder why. All right, let's save and restart. Pen, we'll come back to that. Where are my devices? Nothing. Huh. Okay, so we're good on this, good on this. No, Tustin, T-U-S-T-I-N, Tustin, Tustin. Is it listed as a serial? Maybe? I mean, they got the dev TTY, but it should be a USB. So I guess we're going back to here. Let's see. Hold on. Let's look for any updates. Feel bad for those who have to long haul to MC. Yeah, 15 minutes. Yeah, Gerg, man, you definitely have it better than most of us. So LA Tustin is like 2.5 hours, but I think they open at like 9 in the morning. To get there at 9 in the morning without hitting a couple of hours of traffic, I would have to leave here at like, it's about 2.5 hours for me. So I'd probably have to leave at like 5 a.m. to beat most of the traffic, if not earlier, and then fight all that traffic coming back. It's not worth it. I'd rather not have any traffic, drive to Vegas, which is only 3 hours, 30 minutes longer, 3 hours to go to Vegas, because there's a lot more to do without the traffic and stuff. Okay. What's the LS serial ID thing that I got to do? I think it's in this manual. Hold on one sec. Let's see if we can find this. Come over here. We're good on all of that. Did that, did that. Here it is, this guy right here. Let's grab that and bring that in. It's not even the same continent. Cannot access, no file. Interesting. Do I need to reboot? Would that help? Yeah, because now it's not finding the board. Let's try it out. I think if Fry's went out of business, MC could move west. Yeah, there was a Circuit City too, if you remember that. Although from what I remember, Circuit City was more like a Best Buy. But we went to a Best Buy like a couple of weeks ago, and that place is not even really the same. It's just a lot of electronics now. A month ago, you went to Phoenix, so you could sell a Galvo laser. It's now just as bad as LA. You got your cash and split. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know that I've spent much time in Phoenix at all. I remember driving through there a few times. Incredible Universe? No, never heard of that. What am I not seeing in here? Why is this not? Best Buy is supposed to be doing a reboot. I mean, they're rebooting into just a plain electronics store like we had back in the day with Circuit City or Fry's. Kiao should be able to also show the device. Okay, let's give it a try. Try whatever we have to at this point. I think it's in 4. And then 4 again, probably. USB. No MCs found. Huh. Make sure it's connected. It is connected because we looked at it earlier. Let's try to reset it. Try it again. Yeah, still nothing found. What about 4? No. 3? Yeah, there's nothing going on, sissy kid. Browser's pretty good, but started to go trash at the end. The Vegas one was not marking items open box when they clearly were. I ran into that at Best Buy just the other day. So last time I went to Best Buy was to get a new mini PC because this one exploded. And when I brought home what I thought was a power adapter for the Stream Cam, this guy here, the Stream Cam was not a power adapter. It was open, and the one piece that would allow this to work was missing out of the box. And they had returned it and just put it right back on the shelf. Yeah, Best Buy is not really a nerd store. I agree. Looks like I'm fighting in the struggle. Yeah, for sure. I don't know why this is not talking to one another. I might have to just power off and power back on because I don't understand why it's not working. They should be talking to one another. They are literally connected to one another. All right, so let me shut this down and we'll power off, power back on. Sometimes that will make it work. All right, let's see. This is why we fight with firmware. This is, if you watch the stream for any period of time, you know that I hate doing firmware on stream because I want to say the F word a lot, but I can't because we're on the YouTubes. Bought a mechanical hard drive a couple years ago at Best Buy. The kid had no idea. I believe it. I believe it. We showed my 16-year-old a pencil sharpener, like the hand crank kind. No idea what it was for. No clue whatsoever. We showed them also a rotary phone where you have to like dial number by number. No clue how to make a phone call. It's fun. It's fun. But Wick, I still have mechanical hard drives. Well, I guess technically they're hybrid. I don't know what that means internally, but they look like mechanical hard drives in my main PC in the house, just because they were cheap and I could get a 4 terabyte drive for, very good price. You asked for a school sharpener and Dad installed it in your craft area of the basement. You call it a school sharpener? I've never heard that term. That must be a Canadian thing. Call it a school sharpener. It's always been a pencil sharpener to me. Because what else do you sharpen with it? Check out, look what I printed in Discord. Print these props. Are these the stands for the back of the frame? Because I need to do that. I just have not yet. Reth always helping out behind the scenes as well. I usually don't have Discord open when I'm in there. What'd you put in your prints? Ooh, look at that. So Gergman just posted in the Discord a picture of a bunch of rotary phones. That's really cool for props. Very cool. Hybrid has SSD cache. Okay. Rotary phones for Little Shop. Okay. Yeah, when you said just printed these props, I thought you were talking like for the printer. My bad. Yeah, I got it. That's cool. Reth shared with us Esoterical's STM guide. And we could take a look at that if this doesn't work for us. Maybe they have some insight on how to do things. Okay, let's see now. Let's reconnect this. You had a rotary phone in the basement, couldn't call out but could answer. What? Is that a thing? Like you can't call out on the phone? Yeah, it's just not finding the device. I don't understand that. I wonder if it has to do with something. Hey, Petty, you got in here just in time for filming giveaway. We're going to wrap stream here pretty quick. So maybe like 15, 20 minutes. Rotary phone use pulse dialing. Everyone has switched to tone. That makes sense. Yeah, so what we're running into is that the USB portion of the Manta is just not connecting for whatever reason. Like it's not talking to the main board. Talking about old things, yes. It's better than talking about food. So we've been talking about old computers, Radio Shack, all these random things. Like, and I'm learning very quickly that folks in chat are way more experienced about this stuff than I am. Can I run LSUSB? I can. That also did not work though. But we can run it. LSUSB. Oh, sorry, let's do. Yeah, I'm not getting anything coming back on that. AARP. Yeah, a lot of AARP folks in the chat. And now it's AAA. You guys are killing me today. I needed this. Very much a chat and chill stream at this point. So none of that is working. Let's see if there's any clues in the esoterical guide. Let's get out of there. Let's do some of this stuff. So initial flashing for STM baseboards. So if you don't know, Esoterical is the guy that does all of the CAN bus stuff. Very popular for that. But Reth, who was here earlier, is absolutely correct. There's also a USB guide that will walk you through a lot of that stuff. And so maybe we need to do some of that. I'm just going to run through it. We can get rid of this for now. And we'll try to keep a good balance between you guys being able to see what we're doing and what we're typing. And I think that's okay. Let me increase the font size here. How do I do that? Zoom. And zoom. There you go. I think that should be good enough. Reth is still here? Good. I know you pop in and out, so I wasn't sure. But yeah, Reth shared this with us. We might as well run through some of it. He did the Lord's work in sharing, so let's be respectful and take his recommendation. You have old plastic bags in there that would be great to organize. Also a blanket and pillow. Until you see something, either LSUSB, you're going to see it in the other tools. Yeah, so I'm thinking my thought process, Execute, is that I will go through a lot of these things and hopefully try to unlock something that I'm not seeing. I don't know why. It could be Diet Pie. So that's what my suspicion is that we haven't enabled something in Diet Pie. And because of that, it's not reading USB. But before I dig through docs and try to get smart on it for 2 hours, I'd rather try some other easier options. Okay, so nothing there. Grandparents owned a small dairy farm. The phone did not have a dial. They had a crank. Also had a 6-party line. Everyone could listen. I've heard of that. Hey, Bearded Bucket. I've heard of a party line where like 3 or 4 or 5, and in your case, 6 different houses had one phone that was shared. And so if anybody picked it up, they could listen to what's going on. Also heard of other folks had to like walk to the end of a dirt road or whatever to access like a phone booth because that was the one phone for that area. Yeah, so Nathan and I are in agreement. It might be a diet pie thing. I'm going to stop playing with this box cutter before I cut myself. I have this habit where I need to have something in my hands to like fidget with. Ooh. Okay, make LS USB. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do this yet. Sissy Kid is correct there. Yeah, we're not getting anything at all. Okay. So is there... Let's go back to the Diet Pie docs real quick. And see what's up with Raspberry Pi. Let's go to the 4. Let's view some details about how to install this stuff. Software options. Is there anything in here about USB? Download, extract, flash the image. We did all that. Automatic first boot install. First log on, root and Diet Pie. Did I use the correct settings and make menu config? Kegel, we can't even get the M5P to talk via USB like it normally would. And so Nathan and I are thinking that maybe it's because we didn't set something up in Diet Pie. Selected the wrong MCU before and was not seeing the board. So earlier that was not possible because it was actually talking. Right now, I'm trying to get the Pi to talk to the board and it won't even do that. Optimize software. You can return to make further changes at any time by typing this. Did I change the USB? There is no USB cable for a Manta. The CM4 sits directly on top of the board. If you want to make further changes, so I think it's got to be in here somewhere. Is there like a connectivity thing? Bad cable? No, there's no cable. You may have enabled the USB slot. There's not a USB cable. There a something. I don't know. Wi-Fi, Ethernet. Wi-Fi is on and connected. No jumper. I don't need a jumper for this. So the setup is, let's take a look. The setup is a Manta M5P. Right? So there's no cable, there's no jumper. It's not connected to anything. It's a CM4 mounted directly on top of the board. It communicates through that connection on the lower side of the CM4. There should not be a USB cable involved in any of this. And so I believe it's software. I believe it is turn it off, turn it on. Tried that as well. DT overlay. That's what, yeah. So I'm thinking it's a software thing where we just need to enable that USB type connection. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have the correct terminology in words. Again, this is not my forte, but I think that's what it is. I just don't know how to put it into words. But I mean, we're in the options here. Like, it can't be security. And it can't be adapters because these are like Wi-Fi stuff. We try Hulk smash. Yeah, it's about to be Hulk throw it in the front yard. Ability to mount and control network drives. No, I don't need a network drive. I just want it to talk via USB. That's all I want. Serial by ID, not working. Is there an interface section to enable it? That's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for, Sissy Kid. But I don't see it here. So we're gonna get out of this one. Software. Not familiar with this repo to know how to fix this. Yeah, this is my first time as well. It might have been a bad choice. Exit out of that. Okay. Let's try this other one, DietPi Launcher. Drive Manager. Update. I don't know if any of these look correct to anybody. GUI for VPN, crypt, CPU temp. Scene settings and more. Yeah, I have no clue, guys. I mean, this one makes the most sense, but I don't know what any of this is. Try sudo usermod dial out pi, then log out and log in. Okay. Sudo usermod -a -g dial out pi. How do I log out? Again, I don't know this stuff, guys. Treat me like I'm 4. I don't know any of that. Oh, I just type exit. Is that how we do it? That's easy. So I'm out, and then I'm back in. Getting away from Manta boards. They normally work fine. Like, it's just, I really think it's just that we're using DietPi. And so the only real solution to getting around any of this is either figure out how to enable these USB ports or USB communication, or wipe it again and add normal Pi stuff. Yeah, so LS-USB doesn't work. The other LS, where'd it go? This one doesn't work. Yeah, so I really think we need to enable something. I just don't know what that is. And so other than going through all of these documents and understanding what each and every tool is, I don't know what else to do. Logging systems, servers. Like it's made, it seems like it's feature rich for all kinds of different things. But I don't know the basic stuff. Take a look at the link you pasted. Where'd you paste it? Join late, sorry. Yes, we have flashed the device. We have not connected the USB port. For whatever reason, CM4 is not talking to the Manta. Like it doesn't even see it as a USB device. Oh, you pasted it over in Discord somewhere? Stream chat. Can this run Clipper? Probably. Wick. It could probably run Clipper. Looks like there's some more steps I will need to do. Might not be the right catapult. Yeah, but we're not using catapult right now. Palms, you got to tell me where you posted the link, man. I don't see the link. So if you tried to post it in chat, you're likely not a... Okay, there it is. I got it now. Let's do this one. Okay. DietPi version. What does this do? Was run as DietPi user, not as root. So Clipper is running as what? Discord now. Got it. Yep, we're there. I just don't know where I need to begin. There's no group inheritance, so the system MD service starts with what? Do I just need to run all this? Crash course in making sure I can Linux, yeah. Yes, my ignorance here is a handicap. Yeah, I don't know what any of this stuff means. Need to modify the service. To do so, execute this. PS aux and look for Clipper. Yeah, Clipper is not here. Yeah, I don't have Clipper. USB device port permission to... looks like it'll be easier. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Did I put look? Yeah. Yep. It was recommended to me long ago, and long ago meaning like months ago, to use DietPi because it's easy and lightweight, right? But it requires so much knowledge that I don't possess. And I didn't know that until just now. So I think we're just going to give away filament. Yeah, I think that's what we should do. Lesson learned. Don't do what I do. But I do appreciate you guys trying to help out. Never heard of it? Yeah. If you want to hear of it, you can go to dietpi.com and hear of it. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is we're going to give away filament. I know that's why we still have 59 folks here. We're going to give away some filament. I will probably go back to normal and just flash a normal Raspbian OS and learn what not to do. That's a good reason to watch, Kegel. So we'll do that after we give away this film in here. So if you're not in the giveaway, go get in the giveaway. You've got enough time for me to get over there and open the window, and then we're going to close it. So it's probably like 10 seconds. It's US only for those that are going to ask. US only. After watching your experience, you regret hearing as much as you have. That's what I'm here for, Proper Way. Make you regret life. Okay, so if you're not in there, I'm seeing 52 responses. I'll give it a couple of refreshes here. Lightweight in the Linux world sometimes mean they have stripped out all the basics and often lock down security. Yeah. So again, that's my ignorance on how Linux works. So I think I might not do that in the future. But we're gonna give this away. I'll crack on for another 30 minutes or so. And then if we don't get it by then, I'm gonna just close it out. Which means we won't be done before I leave on this trip, unfortunately. All right, closing the giveaway. You haven't played with Linux in years? Yeah, the only playing in Linux I do is playing right now and trying to get Clipper to work. That's literally it. All right, let me get these things over. Let's get a wheel of names. I'm gonna put this on screen for you guys. Here we go. With Diet Pie Manager. Yeah, and help a fly boy out. That's right, Kenny. All right, Kegel was first in this week. Nice. And last in was Holt's Garage. Everybody see their names? Diet Pie Manager. Yeah, maybe we try that out. Let me get to this film and giveaway. And before we burn it all down, which is what I want to do, before we burn it all down, we get through some of this. Who likes LDO filament? Hands in the air. I'm just going to pick a number this week, and that's how many shuffles we're going to do. Sound good? Just going to click shuffle until I get tired of clicking shuffle, and then we'll see who the winner is. Top notch. Haven't tried it yet. You're liking it using in your salad pork build. Okay. All right. Good luck, everyone. See who's taking home some LDO filament this week. No way. Tulsa Skin, are you here? You've got 69 seconds to reach out. There he is. All right. Tulsa Scan, what's going to happen is I'm going to send your email address over to Jason and the team at LDO. They're going to get back to you asking about your address. You need to pass that along. If for some reason you don't see the email from LDO, it means I forgot and I need to do that. So just ping me wherever makes sense, and I'll make sure that I do what's right and fix myself. Congratulations to you. Back to the pain. And then, oh yeah, I forgot. The other caveat, post in my Discord what you print with your winnings. I want to see what you make with your ABS. Where'd it go? This one. All right, so we're saying Diet Pie Manager. I saw somebody talk about that somewhere. It's not too much of a diet for Clipper. Yeah. I lost it. It's back so far in chat that I forgot. Oh, there it is. Let's try that. Right here. Yeah, that's not a thing. I don't know what any of that is. All right, we're going to burn it down. I'm tired of wasting time waffling back and forth trying to get this thing working. Tell them what you want for color, this any blue. Yeah, yeah. Keep losing the window here. All right. Rating into Steve. We should be rating over to Steve. I normally set that up that way. So unless I was unable to because he didn't post his video availability, then yeah, should be rating over. 1 second, let me check that. Edit, custom. Yeah, let's go over to Steve. Yep, so he should be starting like right now if you guys want to multi-stream. And then whenever we're done here, it'll push you directly over in like 30 seconds or whatever. Yeah, Sissy Kid was the one that said it. I tried the Diet Pie Manager thing, and it didn't really do anything. So I'm just fed up with it. We're going to go with what I know and use normal Raspbian OS. So whatever that means, that's what we'll do. I keep wanting to use the drive that I know doesn't work. But I'm definitely going to use Balena Etcher, though. I'm kind of done with Raspberry Pi Imager right now, too. Because that dude is just not working either. What I need to do is get over here, and we can look for... software. I want to get a light version. Okay. Uh, 64-bit. Is there a legacy version? Use the light version. Yeah. Yep. Trying to find the light version. Light 64-bit. It's still Trixie though. I think that should be fine. There's config files to update for Diet Pie Manager to work. Sissy Kid, if you have a link for that, sure. But I'm already kind of on the train that we're going away from it. I don't want to have to deal with this later on where I'm trying to make a change and I get stuck like I am right now, where I just can't do what I would normally do. And it's unfortunate. We gave it the good college try and it's just not working out. I'm sure Diet Pie is really good for a lot of things. Hey, Moji, you just missed out on the filament giveaway, bro. But you also got lucky and missed out on 2.5 hours of firmware hell. So Depends on how you slice it. Okay, so we have this in here. Let's go ahead and format this guy like somebody was saying. That's okay. Sorry you're late to the party. Hey, no worries, man. I often miss what you got going on because I don't know. I work late and it's not my cross check. One day I'll be able to come back and see you again. Where did Belinda Etcher go? Today's lesson, just say no to diet pie. Correct. We got nostalgic, felt super young with these old fogies. Yeah. You would head down to some code, realize a few hours went by. Tends to happen, man. Tends to happen. I'm not a coder, but when I get into building like printers and stuff, I'll get into wiring and 3 hours goes by. But I have a wired printer at the end of it. And, you know, I've got missed calls, missed texts, and all that kind of stuff because I forgot my phone in the house. I've been there. Definitely happens. Luna Etcher, where are you? There we go. Flash from file. We'll grab our Trixie image that we just got. Target's going to be this guy. Flash that, please. So while this is going, what other old school topic are we going to talk about? So close, fix one thing, find out more things are broken. Yeah, at least we're not dealing with Taco Raven. It feels like we're dealing with a Taco Raven. I saw a bit of Steve's stream about that last week, or I guess that was Wednesday. It feels like last week. Feel bad for that guy. I know how that feels. I know how that feels. But the folks that I talk to regularly offline, outside of stream, will tell you that firmware is always a battle for me. I will get things working and I'll want to try something new. And so I will, and then we break things. Or I've just had a really hard time with anything CB1 or CB2. Some of them will work for me and I'll get it to work just fine, and others just don't want to. I don't really understand the reasoning, but we'll see how it goes. But Moji, what are you coding for? Can you share? Are you able to talk about it? But yeah, today is just not our day, folks. We somehow did not get a back panel in our panel shipment. Had a bad CB2 and then put a really not user-friendly image on the SD card. We've got 2 skirts installed. 2 skirts installed. Working on a web app for a company, nothing exciting, asset management. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how you guys do all that stuff. It just seems like the Matrix to me. I don't know how to read any of it. It's easier to speak Spanish than it is to read code. Nearly there, about 20 seconds left on this. Always go pi over the CBs. Yes, so that's what I'm trying to do. I just had this one last CB2 that I have not used, and I had 2 CM4s. And so I was like, you know what? I'm done with it. Swapping over. And so these have just kind of been hanging out, waiting for, I don't know, a purpose. But yeah, I agree. CM4s or even CM5s going forward. Okay, I think we are done with that. Let me bring open our thing here. Where'd it go? I want to eject this properly. Drop you. Let's get our File Explorer open. See if it actually picks up our drive here. Four over five. Five may have issues with touchscreens. Interesting. I've not heard that. That's the first time I'm hearing that. So I appreciate it. So on this one, we're going to go with the old school 12864. We're going to go with this guy. Broke your stealth changer by going one step too far and updating Calico repo. And now we're back to a clean. Oh, no. Issues with touchscreens with Clipper Calico. Got it. Been watching your old Input Shaper video. Yeah, so anytime I do Input Shaper and I want to know if I'm good or not, I go back and watch Rhett's video. He's getting probably hundreds of likes every month from me. Or hundreds of views, should I say. Yeah, like what the heck? So we burn the image. It's on there. But now it doesn't want to read the SD card. Let me try something here. Let's try a different USB port. I don't know what's going on with that. So again, I can hear the Windows sound saying that it's connected, but it doesn't display the drive here. And it's not these. So how am I supposed to add Wi-Fi details to it if I can't even access the stupid SD card? Okay. Well, I guess we'll try a different dongle. I don't know if it's this USB port or if it's something else. But I feel like it just doesn't want to work. Write it with Rufus and it will likely work. I've never even heard of Rufus. What is Rufus? Is it like an etcher kind of thing? Yeah, I really think it's this PC though, Emoji, because if I take the same card, put it in that dongle, and put it in the house on the home PC, it'll write it no problem. It's this PC for some reason doesn't want to work. Yeah, we might do this at a different time. I think right now what I want to do is just have it read the thing. Let me try a third USB port. I'm gonna take my mouse, my keyboard off. Put my drive in there. Another for creating bootable USBs. Yeah, this problem is the PC is just not reading the card. It did earlier, and now it won't. We may be at a standstill here. May just not be our lucky day. I'll probably be out here the rest of the afternoon trying to get this thing to work. What in the hell? Oh, there it goes. Look at that. So it's this freaking computer, dude. I don't understand. All right, now we have to go back through. Why does it still have the old stuff on it? This still has Diet Pie on it. What? Was the go-to prior to Berlin Etcher? Yeah, this is not what I want. Like, it's like it didn't even write the thing that we just put on there. What in the world? All right, we're going to format this drive. And we'll eject it. I guess we'll try to write it again. I don't know. That's really strange. Why it would not have the right thing on there. All right. Let's cancel that. Flash from a file. Let's go up one. We want this guy. There's our Trixie image. I'm gonna write it to this drive. Flash. Man, we're just not having any luck today. Just upgraded your Linux. Now you have to use USB 2 in 2 ports and 3 in 3 ports. Cannot swap them anymore. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah, luckily, the new mini PC has, let's see, what is that? It's, what are the fast ports called? 10 gig per second ports. And then it's got USB 3s everywhere else. So it's a modern PC. I think there might be one like 2.0 port on there. But it really just comes down to the fact that sometimes in this front PC port, it just doesn't want to work. And I don't know if that's like a byproduct of having so many USB devices connected into it. I mean, it's not the best PC in the world, but it's not the bottom bargain basement PC either. It's just a like a little Nook type computer. Because this one died for some reason. So we had this one, and it was like a power surge or whatever, and it completely just crapped out. Front USB ports are always the first to go. They get used a lot more. Well, I've only had this PC for like 2 months. So it's not that it's worn out. Can't be worn out. But yeah, this thing took a shock and doesn't work anymore. So I got another one that's slightly larger, but the same concept. But it's weird though. If you ever shut it down, to turn it back on, like even with the power button, I have to basically unplug everything to power on and then plug everything back in. I don't know if it's a power draw issue, but it doesn't like it. It's very finicky. Put a USB 3 drive on your USB 2 port and it will not read it. Probably popped a component inside. Oh, on the old one, yeah, probably. Your cat snuck died last year. Luckily, a buddy had one just like it. Got to have their bird and mouse videos. Yeah, that one was great. It was a great PC. I had it mounted to some pegboard, so it was up off the table, out of the way. Yeah, died. Didn't want to spend another $600 getting a new one off Amazon. But it was good. It has like a terabyte of storage on it, SSD, and then I think 32 gig of RAM on there. Decent graphics or whatever. Good enough for streaming, for doing this. Perfect streaming PC. If you have a more normal setup like I do with a few webcams and whatever. But not, I don't think it's powerful enough to do CAD work. You can use Onshape, but it can't run Fusion very well at all. I tried that. But I want to back up a second. You said your cat has a NUC? That is fancy. Your cats have computers. So I may let this one validate this time. I've been skipping it the last few times, and it hasn't really worked out. It won't read the cards. So I'm going to allow it to finish validating this time. You have a NUC mounted to an old monitor down on the floor for your cats. That's wild, man. That's wild. Cats are a thing. People love their cats. Isn't that normal? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't have a cat. I'm not a cat person. But I have noticed that people with cats tend to do some outlandish things, or what I would consider outlandish, like giant jungle gyms around the house for the cat. You're telling me you got a TV for your cat? People treat cats like people. Is there any 3? Will not work in the 2-port, but you're old. Yeah, Tom, I think you have already said that a couple times, yeah? I got it. I understand what you mean. Is my mic coming through loud enough? I feel like it's loud enough. But I just noticed that, like, looking at the screen, it's kind of down on my shirt. Cats that are entertained saves the furniture. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's one of the reasons I won't own a cat, is because they scratch furniture. I like to claw up the edge of the couch and stuff. I'm not about that life. It's not I got it or I understand. The correct term is tracking. I got to mix it up every once in a while, Reth. I got to keep on your toes. Just make sure you're paying attention. Still need to come up and see you, though. Haven't forgotten. Headed to Radio Shack today? Hopefully not, because they don't exist anymore. I think someone bought the name, though. I don't know why. Maybe they bring it back. But, yeah, right now, no. Okay, that looks successful. That just came through. Let me bring you over here. Where'd it go? Let's go in here and do... this guy. Why are you not reading it now? That's weird. I need to unplug, replug. Nothing is broke, just software update. Time machine. Liz, I think with the time we've wasted today, we could have built a time machine. Let's make that a touch smaller. There we go. Get rid of this. All right, so in here, I know that I need to get my Wi-Fi stuff, but I don't see it in here. Network config, maybe? What? Radio Shack still exists, usually a section in a hardware store. Dog's got a hold of the neighbor's cat. It should have not got in the yard. Wow. All right, Palms. See you, buddy. Thanks for trying to help. File contains a net compatible, which will cloud init apply. Are you guys seeing this? So do I need to add in stuff down here? Must mark at least one interface as required. Optional false. Below. Otherwise, On faster boards, we'll start attempting to use the network before it is ready. What does any of that mean? So I think I'm putting my password stuff in here. This is new. Yeah, I've never seen this before either. Maybe it's because we didn't write it with iMager. But I'm going to turn this off and see about putting all my info in here. Oh, yeah, we have to replug the keyboard. Can't do that because I'm using the port for the SD card. So let's see if I can use a different one. Let's try this guy. There we go. Turn you off. Let's do this one. And here. All I know is this, if this doesn't work, folks, I am out of time for this week. So I'm hoping that we have it now. Optional true. Okay, what are we saying up here? Please be aware that if your boot sequence depends on active networking, i.e. if your cloud init config pulls packages, I think the SSID goes before the colon. None of the examples have it before the colon. Do I need quotation marks though? That's the part I don't know. Like if it needs quotation marks or not. It didn't have them in there like it did for the example. So maybe I don't need it. Also looks like you need to uncomment that section. Do I need to uncomment all the sections though? Because that's the thing. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. Let's do that. All right, so there's a, do I need to uncomment all of these sections? Because all of this is commented. Some examples are commented out below. Network, Ethernet. So I need to take all these out. So a Radio Shack in your town? Really? What town is that? It must be like the Bermuda Triangle. You wish you had a suggestion to give? Kittrell, I'm with you. I wish I had a suggestion to work with. I think I just need to uncomment all of these. All the ones I want to use. You think the whole section? Okay. Okay. I don't think I need like work SSID and that kind of stuff though. The part starting from networking. Yes, got it. Let me undo this. Okay, I think I've got it all good to go. Save this. All right, that is all I can think of as far as setting up the network. Taking a quick look at the config portion. Can I make this bigger? Enable hardware interfaces. I don't need any of that. Camera detection, sure. Run as fast as firmware board allows. Yeah, I don't think I need to mess with any of that. That should be good. Let's eject it. Let's try it out. Moment of truth. It's going to be our last attempt for today, folks. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're good to go. I want to get you over to Steve and show him some love. So let's give this a last college try and see what happens. Yeah, fingers crossed for real. Okay, we have lights on the board. I'm seeing green flashing light, good to go. Looking promising. I don't know, we'll see. I would imagine the SSID changed as well. I'm sorry, the IP address has changed. So let me get the scanner out and see what our IP is going to be. Taking a little longer than normal. Yeah, not seeing it in the list. Yeah, did not find it. So either it is incorrectly loaded into the Wi-Fi section, or we messed it up by using Berliner Escher instead, but oh no. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna run it one more time and see if we can pull it. So normally I'm used to seeing like a Wi-Fi text document in there that you edit with your information, and then that gets transferred over and it works. In this case, the only thing I saw was that network file. And it doesn't look like that's going to be what we need. So unfortunately, folks, we're going to have to cut it there. We did not get anything done today, and that sucks. I apologize. That's frustrating. So in the meantime, I'm going to go hang out with the wife for a couple hours before she goes to work. And then I'll be back out here later to see if we can get this going. Keep an eye on the channel. I'll post an update on the channel and in Discord and things like that. But man, we're so close. We just need firmware and we could have had this thing moving. And I'm a little bit sad because now this means that I leave on Monday, super early, leave Monday, and I'm gone 2 weeks before we get to hang out again. Yeah, have a good one, Kegel. We all learned a lot about what not to do. Yes, about what not to do. So yeah, we'll get back together in a couple of weeks. I am out of town until, man, I think the 1st of March is the first availability that I have. But that really depends on, yeah, a lot of what not to do. We will miss you as well, Liz. Thanks for hanging out. Leaving on Monday due to Lunar New Year. Same. I'm leaving for Lunar New Year. Come back 1 March, I think. If I'm not home too late, I'll jump up, get up early, get out here, and see where we can go. Otherwise, we may see each other on 8 March, which is like 3 weeks from now. So taking a little bit of a break from stream. I'll post on Instagram and things like that. Try to keep you guys updated, but does not look like we're going to be successful today, unfortunately. So enjoy your Lunar New Year's or whatever holidays. If you've got Valentine's Day stuff planned this weekend, enjoy that with your loved one. Y'all have a good week. Stream's going to push you directly over to Steve. So if you just hang out for 30 seconds, it'll be good to go. I'll see you over there. Thanks, guys.